In this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys about mindfulness and how it can change your life, because it's literally changed mine. Welcome back to another one of my videos. My name is Paul Giordano and I'm here helping people expand their awareness. And in this video today, I'm going to be telling you guys about mindfulness, how it can change your life, what you can do to practice mindfulness so that way you can have a more zen state of mind. And so let's get right into it. So when I first learned about mindfulness, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know at all. I actually wanted to learn how to meditate, and I didn't know how to meditate. So what I did was I downloaded the app Headspace. This was back in 2016. No idea how to meditate. But the fun thing with Headspace was that there's these little animations in there that taught you what was going on in your mind while you're trying to begin this process. And for someone like me who had just gone through a really bad breakup and my mind was always swirling out of control into like worst case scenarios and having panic attacks and whatever, you just can't, in that moment, I couldn't find a way to be peaceful. And so through meditation, I was like, this is going to teach me how to be peaceful. The other part of it was the mindfulness part. And in the app, he was talking about how you are to be just like sitting on the side of the road and you're watching all these cars go by. Now the cars are your thoughts. So you should just be sitting there, breathing in and out, observing the thoughts that come by and letting them go. They're just coming and they're going. They're coming and they're going. But as a person who's just beginning, I naturally want to run out into the road, try to attack this car, try to attack that car, try to reposition it because I don't like where this one's going. I don't like how this one's driving. You kind of pick up what I'm putting down, right? So while you're doing all of this, you are in this state of like chaos, right, in your mind, while you're supposed to be just breathing in and out. You're still swirling out of control. So what you're supposed to just do is you just observe where you're going in your mind when these thoughts are coming in and which ones you're going off on and you're chasing. Just observe which ones those are, take note, and then come back to your breathing. Gotta view them as indifferent. That's the key. Because if you look at them as good or you look at them as bad, you're attaching a story to them, and you don't want to be doing that during meditation. So just look at them as indifferent and shift your awareness back to your breathing. It takes some practice, and still to this day, years later, I find myself going off on a thought, but then I remember and I just come back and I begin breathing. So mindfulness is, you're trying to get to that state of Zen. So mindfulness can literally transform your life, because when you start to become more mindful, you start to act with more kindness. Because if you are being mindful while you're meditating, you're viewing things with a kinder perspective instead of with a bad or not so good perspective. And in this state, this day and age, we have a really hard time staying focused. And they compare us to like goldfish, right? We have like less than a second or something. It's like ridiculous. But 47%, according to a Harvard study, states that we spend 47% of our life mind wandering. That's like almost half of our entire life. And the whole key is just becoming aware of it and trying to become more present. Because that worry comes from looking into the future and finding false evidence appearing real. And you're attaching a story to it. You don't really know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going on, so you're worrying about it. And that gives you anxiety. Or you find yourself being depressed and you're thinking about things that had happened in the past that are no longer there, but they're still haunting you and they're still hurting you. and they're starting to make you feel a certain type of way, when all you really have is right now. You have the present moment. So, you gotta be mindful. You gotta be mindful of what you're thinking about, and you have to find ways of letting it go. And when you begin to practice mindfulness, it will grow. It has to. You know, they say practice makes perfect. Well, with science, neuroplasticity has proven that when you continue to do a new practice over a period of time, you are strengthening the neuroreceptors in your mind to create new pathways in the mind, to create new thoughts and new belief patterns. You can do it all by yourself. You just have to put in the work, and I don't want to say work like it's a bad thing or a hard thing, but you just have to put in that consistent work of thinking new things and telling yourself new things. And when you, because you will, when you get to that point where you start meditating more and more, and you practice that mindfulness, the one thing that I wasn't aware of that actually was really cool side effect was in my day-to-day life when I wasn't meditating, because like, let's get real, like we don't spend that much time meditating. Like for me, I try to meditate like maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops, because like I don't want to be spending my whole life meditating, you know, it just check in, meditate, and move on with your day. But what I've realized that over the course of a couple of years, I can like use discernment and notice that in my regular life, I'm like I'm approaching things in a more calm manner. I'm not spiraling out of control. I'm not losing my mind. The mindfulness has carried from meditation into my normal, regular, everyday life. And that literally has saved me, because that alone is what stopped all of the panic attacks. The ones, like the bad ones, where I used to like fall to the ground and like lose my hearing and my sight and get hot, and just my body would just be like, enough's enough, and I would just like collapse. Like, those are bad. Like, no, I don't want to do those anymore. But you know, meditation led to the mindfulness, and the mindfulness led to a smoother life. So you can look at more things. You become like Joe Pong. He did a TED Talk about it, and what he was talking about, how you become the noticer, and the noticer doesn't complain. You realize what you're complaining about, and you become aware of that, and you pull yourself out of it, and you choose to think about the opposite, or you choose to become okay with it. He used the analogy of like getting into a vehicle. It was really hot, and he found himself complaining, and then he realized a couple of months before then, he had paid money to have an experience similar to this in a sauna. So he had realized that he wasn't looking at it the right way. He was complaining about the heat. So what he had done is accepted that it was just hot out, and it relieved things because it's out of your control, you know? So I hope this video helped. You know, I'd like for you to like let me know what you thought about it. So comment down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It means the world to me. Trying to get this off the ground here, doing you guys daily videos. You know, that's my commitment right now, because I literally feel like in a state of bliss every time that I upload a video. But I would really like to know if this video has helped, because mindfulness can change your life, and it takes practice. It really does. But you got this. You really do. Just be patient with yourself, because you're undoing a lot of things that you have been doing for a long period of time. You know, like that thing that I said about social conditioning. It's a real thing. That social conditioning can be a bitch sometimes, you know? But remember, you have the power to change it. You have the power to undo all of that. There's so many benefits to it. So many benefits. You know, even putting your hand over your heart. That increases oxytocin levels. That makes you feel amazing. Being kind floods your body with dopamine. Who doesn't like natural rewards like that? I mean, I do. It's pretty sweet. And all you're doing is just being kind. And you're helping your mind, which then also helps your body, which then makes you happy, which then puts another happy person out to the world who can spread happiness and make other people happy. And then one by one by one by one, we can have a happier world. All right? That's it today. Love you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. All right? Peace.